Talk real quick about the end of the SAVE forbearance. This is happening suddenly, and a lot of people are a little stunned. The SAVE forbearance has lasted since June of 2024, and if you think about that, it's more than a year that people have been able to have zero interest and make no payments. And suddenly, all of a sudden, the Trump administration is saying, hey, as of August 1st, game over, it's time to make payments. So what does the SAVE forbearance ending mean? What does it mean in the context of the new RAP repayment plan that just passed via the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the OBBB? So basically, the SAVE forbearance ending is going to they're going to call on you to sign up for a different IBR repayment plan, and they're going to specifically mention IBR. That's what they want people to switch to. That's because that's the only option that existing borrowers can select after the RAP goes into full effect in 2026. So even though that is the only option you will eventually be able to use besides the RAP plan, you do have other options. So people who took out their first loan July 1st, 2014 or after, those folks can switch to something called the new IBR plan. So the new IBR plan is a plan that allows you to pay 10% of your income for 20 years in the private sector, 10 years, of course, if you're doing PSLF. And the new IBR plan is the best plan. If you're eligible for it, you should definitely switch to that at studentaid.gov/IDR. Now, for folks that took out their first loan between October 1st, 2007 and July 2014, those folks probably would be best off on the pay-as-you-earn plan temporarily, because that's 10% of your income instead of 15% on the old IBR plan. Now, people on the pay plan will eventually get kicked onto old IBR, but until that happens, you might as well get lower payments. Now, for folks that are dealing with their first loan before October 2007, those folks would be eligible for only one plan, and that's the old IBR plan. So that plan is 15% of your discretionary income. That is actually, in many cases, similar to what people would pay on the new RAP plan, even though that's 10% of AGI. 10% of AGI actually works out to being similar to 15% of your discretionary income in a lot of cases. So basically, people can think about the SAVE forbearance ending. At least you have 3 more weeks or so at the time I recorded this. At least you have options. Those options might not be great, so you could potentially do forbearance if you absolutely had to. But it is best to be on some kind of an IDR repayment plan to get credit towards forgiveness. And when the interest subsidy ends, if you need to pay back your student loans, you might want to consider refinancing potentially with a private lender if that's the best thing for you. You can't undo that, but it seems extremely unlikely that there would be any interest subsidies coming in the future with this administration beyond the ones available in the RAP plan. And you only get those if your required payment doesn't fully cover the interest, right? So basically, those are the things you need to know. If you do need to refinance, you might check your rates at studentloanplanner.com/refi. There's other options as well. And the SAVE forbearance ending, this is a pretty big deal. This has not happened for like over a year that people have had to make payments. So we're going to have to see what develops also with negotiated rulemaking later this year with the Trump administration trying to completely change the way student loans are done. So I hope you all have a good rest of your weekend. And if you have any questions, put them in the comments below.